Well, hello, my lovelies. It's Murky Meg here. It's Monday, the 10th of November, and this weekend showed exactly how far Harry and Meghan have fallen. Now, over the weekend, it was Remembrance Sunday, and like always, the royal family put on a very dignified display. Now, yesterday, the royal family led the Remembrance Sunday service and the 2-minute silence at the cenotaph. It happens every year, and it is one of my favourite things to actually watch the royal family do, because it means so much to not just them but to us as a country and veterans and families. It is such a moving, dignified event. This year's was no exception, and Princess Catherine looked absolutely beautiful. The previous night, as always, they were at the Festival of Remembrance in London's Royal Albert Hall, and interestingly, Prince George joined King Charles, Queen Camilla, Catherine the Princess of Wales. Now, the Festival of Remembrance is always on the Saturday before the Remembrance Sunday, and it is a concert to commemorate those who lost their lives in service on the eve of Remembrance Sunday. I do think it was a lovely touch that Prince George was there. Obviously, Prince William wasn't there. He is at the tail end of his Brazil tour he's doing for Earthshot. And I just think it was really lovely for 12-year-old Prince George to stand there next to his mother, Princess Catherine, as a show of dignity, as a show of unity, and as a show of respect. I also think that this is the first time that George has attended this event, so it was a really lovely thing to see. Flip that coin to the other side of the world, and then you have the grifters trying to really convince you that service is universal and you don't have to be part of the royal family or a working member of the royal family to do your duty. What did they do on this night? Well, they went to a Kardashians party. Celebrity versus duty. It is the epitome of the polar opposites. They attended Kris Jenner's 70th birthday that was held at Jeff Bezos' mansion. Yep, they were seen rocking up. Meghan looked god-awful. Do you know what? Have a look. I don't normally slate what she wears. I try and avoid that because that's just not me. But one, mismatched black. Her top and her skirt, totally different shades of black. And also, if you actually zoom in on the outfit, everybody's been saying she needs to use a lint roller on it. Now, it could be sparkly, but it doesn't look like that to me. She looked scruffy. And while Harry actually looked quite dapper for a change. Normally he looks scruffy. He actually looked quite dapper. And I say that with gritted teeth. I really, really do. But what's weird to me was he was wearing a poppy to a party. That screams, pay attention to me. I'm still doing my duty while I'm rubbing shoulders with all the Hollywood elites and all the cheesiness that Hollywood has to offer. Because quite frankly, the Kardashians, although they are billionaires, they are the epitome of crass. So while the royal family have a weekend of duty, it seems Meghan and Harry didn't. They just were after celebrity status and gravitas. Not only were they seen going in to Kris Jenner's 70th birthday party, they were also seen attending the Baby to Baby Gala at the Pacific Design Centre in West Hollywood on the same night. Now, Meghan wore the same outfit. Harry changed his jacket. But I don't think this whole Kris Jenner thing is quite as it seems, because there has been no mention of Harry and Meghan on any of the Kardashians' Instagram or any socials or anything like that. So the gravitas wasn't really there for them. If they were such high-powered, prominent people to be invited, they would have been put all over the socials. Now, we've known in the past that Kardashians have kind of put as ever products on their Instagram, but crucially, they've never actually tagged Meghan in them. There has been a large amount of backlash to this because it seems that they are being slammed for attending the party on Remembrance weekend. Charlotte Griffiths, who was on GB News says this is the most tragic display I've seen from these two in a very long time, if not ever. But is there an issue? They're not working royals. Can they attend an event, a very lavish Hollywood event, even if it's trashy, and I admit the Kardashians are trashy, on Remembrance Sunday? Do they have a duty to only do acts of service on this weekend or do something more substantial? Are they, as non-working members of the royal family, be okay to attend a schmoozy celebrity bash on Remembrance weekend? Do you think that is acceptable? And the only kind of nod to Remembrance is wearing a poppy. Harry was wearing a poppy, Meghan wasn't. Cast your minds back to 2020, where they did the shameless publicity stunt photo shoot at the Los Angeles National Cemetery, where they were laying a wreath for Remembrance Sunday. You remember that one? They got absolutely slated for it because it was called a publicity stunt. They brought their own photographer, they released photos, it was all very solemn. I'd also like to point out the fact that the Kardashians haven't really got a very good reputation. Let's face it, their whole career, and as successful as they are, I can't dispute that fact, has been built on the back of a sex tape that was engineered by Kris Jenner herself with regards to her own daughter. And these are a couple that lecture the world on protecting their kids from harmful things on the internet. And while searching social media, the general consensus is that it was tacky for Harry to wear that poppy to a 70th birthday celebrity party, especially when his family were doing their duty like they do every single year. I say this now, Harry and Meghan have now crossed over into celebrity status. And that's all they're good for. They need to drop this duty and service malarkey because you can't really have both. There was a very interesting Crazy Days and Nights blind that actually relates to this video that was posted yesterday. Now they say, of course the illiterate one, which is how they always refer to Meghan Markle, sucked up to the wealthy bookseller again, i.e. Jeff Bezos, but he doesn't want her show on his platform. There's a running joke all on social media that Meghan Markle is after Jeff Bezos and that he's the real prize that she wants. Never going to happen. I mean, he's just got married, for goodness sake. I mean, Lauren Sanchez would absolutely scratch her eyes out. But I do wonder if this was a last-minute invite because they were at the Baby to Baby gala and they went straight to Kris Jenner's 70th birthday without changing. Meghan didn't change. Harry changed his jacket. They didn't go home, obviously, otherwise Meghan would have changed. You know she would have done. But it's very unlike her to attend two events in the same night and wear the same outfit. But I'm going to end this video on one of my favourite sayings when it comes to narcissists, and it's called duper's delight. It is the pleasure a person feels from successfully lying or deceiving someone. It's a positive feeling that can provide a psychological high, and it is often accompanied by a sense of accomplishment or superiority over the person being fooled. This face right here is duper's delight, and I will die on that hill. The reason why I say that is that I firmly believe that they were late guest attendees, and this is her absolute glee face of being with everybody there. That's where she desires to be. She's never wanted to be in the royal family. She's always courted celebrity. Now, here's the big question. Will this event be featured in the Kardashians on Disney? We know the answer to that because their whole life is always on display. So of course, this very lavish event will more than likely be featured in whichever season they're on now. I lost count. I don't care, to be perfectly honest. But will Harry and Meghan be part of that episode, or will they be completely erased from it? If they are erased, we know that they were a last-minute addition. If they were supposed to be there, then they will be in it. But it's interesting that there's been no mention of them anywhere on the Kardashian socials. That is very, very telling indeed. And believe me, there were a lot of photos, and I've provided these photos within this video. Even Tyler Perry gets on the list of people that she has featured in her Instagram. Not just stories, but an actual physical post. Harry and Meghan are nowhere to be seen. So, have they crossed over to the epitome of trashy celebrities? Are they still clinging to the essence of duty by shamefully Harry wearing a poppy? Do you think that that sits right with you? Were they supposed to attend and they'd had their invitation for a long, long time? Or do you think that this was a last-minute invite because Meghan Markle wore the same outfit at the Baby 2 Baby Gala and this party? Bad form on Meghan Markle. She's not normally that sloppy, which leads me to believe it was a last-minute invite. As always, I would love to know your thoughts.
Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the notification bell and also that like button. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of my followers for all the tips and all the emails, DMs that everybody sends to me. It really is greatly appreciated. So thank you very much for watching once again.